What's up, Ranger Nation? It's your boy JB, and I'm here today with Ranger Talk, episode number 10. This has kind of been a slow week in Ranger news, but we have had some stuff to talk about. So without further ado, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into the video and start talking about the topics that I have for this week. All right, so this first topic is not a big news topic, but it's a birthday shout out, and I mean we're days later in the week past her birthday, but I do want to say happy birthday to Naomi Scott, who played Kimberly in the Mighty Morphin, not the Mighty Morphin, who played Kimberly in the Power Rangers 2017 movie. Her birthday was Monday, May the 6th, and like I said, we're days later, but when it comes to Ranger talk and stuff, I do want to when we have someone in Ranger Nation, once a Ranger, always a Ranger. When we have someone in our family, in our Ranger Nation family, who has a birthday, I just want to get on here and shout them out and just say happy birthday to them. And also, when it comes down to birthday shout outs, it doesn't necessarily just have to be the actors themselves. I do realize, I do see that my Ranger side is growing with my subscribers. So, going forward, once I start to build more and more with Ranger Nation, what I'm going to do each and every week is I'm going to either put out a tweet. Well, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put out an Instagram post and I'm gonna share it to my Twitter feed. So that way you guys can give me topics on what we talk about for the week. Because I don't want it to always be just what I want to talk about. Because we're Ranger Nation, we are a family. So I just want us to talk about stuff that we want to talk about. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Ranger related. Because what I'm thinking about going forward with Ranger Talk, I think I might include I don't know if I'm going to change the name of Ranger Talk. I'm probably not going to change the name. I'm probably going to keep it the same. But with Ranger Talk, I'm thinking that we're going to also include some stuff. It's going to include everything Ranger related and superhero related. So that can include DC, Marvel, anything like that comes up. So that's my idea going forward, because I do like Marvel and I do like DC. With DC, I kind of just like Batman. That's my favorite. But with Marvel, I love all of them, and just like with Power Rangers. So I think that's what we're going to kind of do going forward with Ranger Talk. I haven't made up my mind on that one yet, but I do know that going forward, I will be doing some Twitter, like I said, on Instagram. I will ask you guys for suggestions on what we talk about in Ranger Talk. And I'm still going to keep my eyes on the news of the week, but then if there's other stuff that you guys want to talk about, we will talk about that as well. And then, like I said, if anybody in Ranger Nation has a birthday that's coming up, you guys can let me know, and you let me know what day your birthday is. And then for Ranger Talk, I will give you a special shout out in the video. Now I ain't best with the memory, but if you guys leave your comments in the comment section of the videos, on the Instagram, Twitter, wherever I post it, if you guys put your birthday in there, I will be sure to put it in my notes, so that way I can give you guys a shout out. This was long, and I didn't want to ramble. I know I ramble, but that's just where I'm at right now. So we're just gonna move on. And once again, special shout out and happy belated birthday to Naomi Scott, aka Kimberly Hart, from the 2017 Power Rangers movie. Happy birthday to you. All right, you guys, so next we're going to get into some gaming news. And actually, this gaming news that I'm talking about is not really new gaming news, because it's actually gaming news from last week that I actually looked over. With the Legacy Wars game that is on the phone, we got a new character, which is actually one of my favorite characters of all time in Power Rangers. It's Ziggy Grover, RPM Green, or Ranger Green, or Ranger Operator Series Green, as Dr. K called him. He is on Legacy Wars, and I have not played Legacy Wars in a minute. I had fallen away from playing Legacy Wars, because there were some things about it that I did not 100% like about it. But he's actually still my coworker now. He was telling me they fixed a lot of the kinks in the game, and then I did play it, he told me last year in 2018 that they had fixed some of the kinks in the game, and I was like, I don't believe, I believe you, but I ain't really interested in playing the game anymore. Like I got consumed with the game at one point. So then I re-downloaded the app and I started playing the game again, and I got hooked into it again. I'm like, okay, they have fixed a lot of the kinks in the game. So like I said, Ziggy Grover is a new character that is on Legacy Wars. And then also, while we're talking about gaming news, we'll talk about Battle for the Grid. Again, all this gaming stuff that I'm talking about, it was last week, but I just completely looked over it last week when I was talking about gaming news, because the main thing that I was so interested in was a story for Battle for the Grid. So speaking of Battle for the Grid, we have the Cenozoic Blue Ranger. And if you guys don't know who the Cenozoic Blue Ranger is, it's the Blue Ranger Billy from the 2017 Power Rangers movie. Which well, you know what, at the beginning of the movie, it does say this is Cenozoic period. So that is pretty much everything on the gaming side that I know of this week. If something special happens in game, you know what I said, I would say that I would do a special Ranger talk, but I probably won't. I'll probably just save it for next week's Ranger talk. And like I said last week, you guys, I am definitely going to get better at doing Ranger talk. I had fallen off of it because I kind of got down on myself, because my Ranger talk videos, the only videos on Ranger talk that really get the most views are the ones where I'm talking about past seasons. Like my Lost Galaxy video did very well, and my RPM videos did really well. Like my Ranger talks where I'm just talking about the Ranger news is just not getting a lot of traction. But I have to have a conversation with myself, because there are people who watch it, there are people who comment on my stuff. So, you know, I just got to keep going forward, and eventually it will get to where it'll be thriving, you know. And I look at if you guys if not subscribed to Ranger Liz, subscribe to her. She's actually, I love Ranger Liz. She's so cool. I would love to meet Ranger Liz. I would love to do some stuff with Ranger Liz. Like, I think she's awesome. And I look at her Ranger Week in Review and well, now she's combined Ranger Week in Review with Toku Week in Review, and I will watch those every week, and I just look at her views. And I'm not comparing myself to her, because I'm completely different from Ranger Liz, but you know, I'll just be like, dang man, you know, I work really hard at my channel and what I do, and sometimes it just doesn't feel like I'm growing. But then I do look at my videos, like my Power Ranger videos, some of them, and I figured out what it is with my Power Rangers reviews. Like, I noticed that some of them are not as high as others, and then I figured it out. Like, I think when it comes to like filler week episodes, my views are down, but when we're not on the filler week, that's when my views are significantly higher. So, and again, like I said, I'm not comparing myself to anybody. I'm a perfectionist. That's really what it is. At the end of the day, I'm a perfectionist, and that's just a downfall of my own, but I'm working on it. So we're just going to move on to the next topic, you guys. All right, you guys. So the next topic is going to be comic book news. So you guys, if you guys did not know, which I actually forgot about it last week, that last Saturday was National Free Comic Book Day. And I went to my local comic book store here in Dallas. Actually, it's in Plano, Texas. Because the one here about my apartment, I went over there. They weren't even open. So I'm like, well, I guess they closed for the day. So I went to the one out in Plano, Texas, and I was looking around trying to find me some Power Ranger comic books. They did not have not a one comic book of Power Rangers. They have all Marvel, which I would have bought some, but I mean, I really wanted some Power Rangers comics. Like, that was really what my heart was set on. Oh my God, my heart was set on Power Rangers comics. So, you know what? That was actually a cool day though. Because when I got out there, you know, at the comic book store in Plano, they have, they have big name celebrities that they're actually a big name. Because I think they had one of the guys from, I don't know what movie he's from. I think it's Napoleon Dynamite. They also had Kel Mitchell there from Kenan and Kel fame. And last year, this is actually how I found out about this comic book store in Plano. If you guys haven't saw, I did a vlog last year when I went to the comic book store where Steve Cardenas was there. Karen Ashley, David Felding was there. Who else was there? Walter Jones was there. Johnny Young Bosch was there, and it was some other people there. But the Power Rangers that I went out to see the Rangers, so had a good time last year. I'm actually gonna go back and watch that video myself because that was a fun time for me, and it was a highlight for me. Now to get into the comic book news that I found for this week. We got some details on issue number 39 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So it'll be in stores May, which is this month. So the issue will conclude the Power Rangers Beyond the Grid storyline. So in this, the entire team of Rangers will tap into the mysterious Solarics to transform into the Solar Rangers, which I saw how the Solar Rangers look, and the Solar Rangers look absolutely phenomenal. Like that, they look so cool. You know, and looking at the comics when they come up with the Solar Rangers and some other teams, it gives, you know, also with the because I didn't watch it, the one that came on Twitch, I can't think of it. Power Rangers Hyperforce. I didn't watch Hyperforce. I don't have any intentions to watch Hyperforce. I know people tell me Hyperforce was, you know, really, really good. I'm so sorry, you guys, but I do not want to sit and watch a round table talk about Power Rangers. No offense, but it's just not something that I would find interesting. I just don't think. So I'm not going to watch Hyperforce, but just looking at the Solar Rangers and Hyperforce, it just, you know, it makes me think that if one day we didn't have anything Sentai to adapt in the US, that at that point we could then go into creating our own Ranger teams. I mean, we've done it before. We haven't created a Ranger team of our own before, but we have created U.S. Rangers that are just authentic to the U.S. We've created U.S. authentic monsters like Ryan, the Titanium Ranger, Trakina, Scorpius. Who else is original? Who else is an original monster? Lord Zed. I know Lord Zed is an original. Divatox. Astronomer. I know there's a lot more that I can't think of right now. I'm having a big brain fart. Who else? You guys can let me know in the comments who else is, you know, U.S. made. Is Lothar one? Lothar, I believe. What? Elsa's one. Who else? Who else? Sledge. Sledge is an original. Galvanax. Tanaya 7. Who else? I'm really thinking. So we got Jungle Fury. I don't think anybody from Jungle Fury is an original. I think, were Motor and Furious originals? I believe so. Furious, maybe. I don't know about Motor. I really don't know about Motor if he was an original. Because I didn't watch that Sentai. Yeah, Operation Overdrive, Jungle Fury, Operation Mystic Force. I don't think anybody maybe was Necrolite an original? I don't think Necrolite was an original. What's his Grum? I think Grum was original, right? Grum is an original. Yeah, Grum is an original. SPD. I'm trying to think of what was the monster's name in Dino Thunder. And I watched Dino Thunder so much and I can't even think of what his name was. I'm gonna stop thinking about it. But back to the comic books. Back to the comic. So this will be the final issue before, I think his name is Ryan Parrott. correct me if I'm wrong. He takes over this series with the Power Rangers Necessary Evil. So in Power Rangers Necessary Evil, it will bring back Jason, Billy, Zach, Trini, Kimberly, and Tommy, and it will resolve the fallout of Power Rangers Shattered Grid. And also in this, the White Ranger will make his debut. I'm like, cool. So we'll get Saba in the comics. Cool. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think about the comics. If anybody out there reads the comics, let me know just tell me about the comics. Like I do want to get into the comics. So just give me, your good, your bad about the comics, and we'll discuss it in the comment section below. All right, and then lastly, you guys, we have some Beast Morphers news. Again, it's not the Beast Morphers news that we want to know, like when is the show coming back from its hiatus, but it's still good news nonetheless. So after I posted Ranger Talk last week, we got some news the same day from Power Rangers Now that in addition to, and this is not exactly confirmed that Austin St. John is returning as Jason, but we got some news that Brennan Mejia, Davey Santos, and Yoshi Sudarso were all in New Zealand. And again, this is confirmed, air quotes, confirmed that they are returning for the team up episode. And so when it comes down to the team up episode, I don't know if I feel like I have high hopes for the team up episode because, like I said in last week's episode of Ranger Talk, I feel like Hasbro has done a really fantastic job with Beast Morphers thus far. So I hope they can keep the momentum alive in going into the second half of this season 1 and then going into the season 2. I hope we can keep the momentum high. Now, my hopes with not Dimension in Danger, my hopes with the team up episode that it is as good, because I think Dimensions in Danger to me it was a decent episode. It wasn't the best episode, but it wasn't the worst either, especially for a team up episode. I think the worst team up episodes that I've saw would have to be, and I hope that with this team up episode is not nearly as horrible as the ones I'm about to name. Number one, actually I don't know if this is number one or not. Actually, you know what? So we're gonna go number one. Number one of the horrible team up episodes that I've saw over the years would have to be Clash of the Red Rangers, where Scott went and met up with the Samurai team. That was nothing but copy and paste, and it was so horrible. Nothing in that episode made any sense whatsoever, from the fact that the train brought them from dimension to dimension. Like, a train? Really? A train. And then the fact that Scott talking about he don't know if he can breathe the air in their dimension. The air in the RPM universe was not polluted. Well, no, it wasn't polluted. Because even in the first episode of RPM, we saw Dylan, he was doing a talk screen and the talk screen cleared. And even when they went outside the city, they never wore a mask outside the city. So, like, I didn't understand that whole thing about he didn't know if he could breathe the air. That whole Clash of the Red Rangers was the stupidest shit that I've saw thus far. Number 2 on the list would be the Legendary Battle. The Legendary Battle to me was the absolute worst. So you mean to tell me that those Rangers, the Super Mega Force Rangers, could not take on a platoon of X-Borgs? They needed help from past Rangers to take on all those X-Borgs when they had been fighting nothing but X-Borgs all season long. But at the last episode, they need help to fight the X-Borgs. Y'all couldn't have brought an evil villain from the past back. Y'all could have done a whole lot of shit. But that was the worst. Tommy! Oh God, I hate that episode. When it comes down, like, one of these days, actually, I might flip my camera around. Nope, my room is not in the best shape. Well, it's in good shape, but I'm not gonna do it. Like I told you guys before, I have every Power Rangers season on DVD, with the exception of not Dino Supercharged, Super Ninja Steel. I haven't bought that one yet. But of all the seasons that I have on DVD, the few seasons that I cannot watch will be Samurai, Super Samurai, Megaforce, and Super Megaforce. I actually really can't watch Dino Supercharged. It wasn't that Dino Supercharged was horrible. It's just not that it was just not the best to me. But yeah, Samurai, Super Samurai, Megaforce, and Super Megaforce, those four I cannot sit and watch whatsoever. They are horrible to me. And then number 3 on my list of what I do not expect or want from this team up that we're getting, Trakeena's Revenge. Oh my God, Trakeena's Revenge. I had such high hope. Now, when it came down to Trakeena's Revenge, oh my God, I was looking forward to Trakeena's Revenge. Like, I remember when they made that Power Rangers 3D VHS tape, I was never able to find it in my local Walmart store, Blockbuster, Hastings. I was never able to find that tape. I didn't get to see Trakeena's Revenge until it actually came on TV. Funny story about Trakeena's Revenge. So, Trakeena's Revenge Part 1. So I was at school that day when Trakeena's Revenge came on, and I forgot to set my set my timer on my VCR to record, and I had to go stay with my grandmother because my mom was at work. So I'm like, oh crap. Like, I had to come up with a way to get out of school. So I went to the bathroom and pretended like I was sick. Yes, I pretended like actually, no, I didn't pretend like I was sick. I actually I really was sick, but I wasn't that sick that I had to leave school, but I was sick. And my mama knew it. She's like, you ain't that sick. And then I get to my grandma's house. She's like, yes, he is sick. Which I really, like I said, you guys, I was sick. I just was not as sick as I was making myself to be. Only reason why I went home is because I really, really, really wanted to watch Trakeena's Revenge. So then Trakeena's Revenge came on one day. And the next day, I woke up, get ready for school. And my mom was like, you feel like you think you're going to be able to go to school today? I'm like, no, Mama, I'm not going to be able to go to school. Because I really just want to stay home to watch Part 2 of Trakeena's Revenge. Don't judge me, you guys, but that's real shit that I did that. And looking back on Trakeena's Revenge, like, Trakeena's Revenge was completely copy and paste as well. Because I have actually, now when it comes to Trakeena's Revenge, I actually did watch this Sentai episode that was based off of. And I'm like, damn, they just really took scene by scene with the fights. I mean, they spliced in a little bit of American stuff, but not very much. And how the whole episode was based around Heather, like not the Lost Galaxy Rangers, not Trakeena. It was based off of Heather, and I hated that. And I know that I know that Amy Miller didn't come back. That broke my heart. So to this day, I still say that even with Trakeena's Revenge, that was not Trakeena. That was somebody else. That wasn't Trakeena. That was not my Trakeena. Well, technically, what I'll say was not Trakeena was that final form. That final form to me was not Trakeena. I never say that final form was Trakeena. I just say that was a different monster that they, just destroyed. It wasn't Trakeena. Trakeena's out there somewhere in the world, hurt and wounded, and we got to find Trakeena and, nurse her back to health and then kill her. But until then, that is not Trakeena. I don't believe that. I will never say that final form was Trakeena. I don't care what nobody says. That was not Trakeena. You can argue me up and down. But again, that wasn't Trakeena. But yeah, those are 3 episodes that I hope that the team up battle that we're going to get with the second half of Beast Morphers is not like. So then we say the last thing with Beast Morphers. So today while I was at work, the server that I am on where I see, news feeds and we talk about, Beast Morphers spoilers, Beast Morphers news, Toku news, Super Sentai news. We share our content and whatnot. So I did see today where they were talking about what we could possibly get in the second half of Beast Morphers, not the second half of this season, but second half of next year. So there might be a power change. And if you guys don't know what I mean by a power change, when I say a power change, there might be like with Power Rangers in Space, Power Rangers Turbo to Power Rangers in Space, a power change, Power Rangers Megaforce, Super Megaforce, power change. So it's not 100% confirmed, But Abraham Rodriguez, he did an interview and he was asked about it, if there would be a power change in the second half of the season. And he said, and this is quote, he says, "I don't think I should say, let's keep that a secret," end quote. And when they're talking about a power change, it's what a lot of people have been kind of speculating with the second part of Beast Morphers. Could we get a different adaptation from Goldbusters to a different Sentai? And the Sentai that a lot of people keep thinking about is excuse me, Zoolger. So a lot of people think that it could be Zoolger. I would like it to be Zoolger because originally when I heard Beast Morphers last year, that was my first thought, that we were going to get Zoolger. How do I feel about that? I don't know. Because if we're going to get this big battle, how would that work? Like that would be the thing. How would that work? Would they do it early in the season and then, like early in the season and then have them change their power, get new powers? I just wonder about that. So I don't know if I would love to see Zoolger because that would fit in with the whole animal theme, since that is an animal themed Sentai. So I don't know. And I know a lot of people have been like, how would that work? Because there are 6 Rangers in Zoolger. Well, we would have 6 Rangers. And I know, like, because you guys have to think about it. I think, because I'm doing predictions now. I'm probably gonna do a prediction video. I'm probably gonna do a prediction video at some point about what I think is gonna come in, Beast Morphers this season, and then probably do one for what I expect for the second half of next year. But what I'm thinking, we do have the potential to have 6 Rangers. If you guys think about it, we have the potential for 6 Rangers, and those 6 Rangers could be Blaze, Roxy, Devin, Zoe, Ravi, and Nate. So those could be our 6 Rangers. They would just have to change colors, and they would have to make sense of those color changes. But that's what I think could happen. That's what I think could happen. And like I said, I'm going to do a prediction video at some point. I don't know when I'm gonna do that prediction video. I might record a prediction video this weekend and put it up in place of the episode. So that was it for Ranger Talk this week, you guys. So like the video, leave your comments, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later.